Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, live after the Cleveland Cavaliers pick up their third victory in a row. Pleasure to be with you, Zach Weiss, as always. Really fun victory tonight. You saw a lot of great things from the Cavs. Came together beautifully. No Donovan Mitchell. No Caris LeVert. That ain't no problem. Shannon Sharp said it best during his time with Skip Bayless back during his time at Fox Sports. It is a wonderful victory for the Cavs in a game that you absolutely love to see them win the way they did. So we're going to do a full game breakdown, what this means, and why we should be excited from these results moving forward. So this is Across the Cavs. I'm Zach Weiss. More coming up. This is Network 216. Let's do it. All right, welcome back. Zach Weiss with you. Folks, what a win. This is the first time in a couple games I was actually able to make it live and not have to do a rewatch. So absolutely love that. I got home out all day, got back at 5:45 just in time for this contest. And what a win it was. No Donovan Mitchell, no Caris LeVert. It's called depth, man. Beginning of the season, J.B. Bickerstaff said it best. You might go 11 or 12 deep on some nights. Well, they couldn't do that because that's all they had available tonight. But they went 9 deep, and all 9 had some fantastic moments. George Niang hitting some timely buckets. Tristan Thompson came in the game, and his plus-minus ended up being horrible, minus 23. But he got a quick putback, guarded Jokic okay the time he was in. Sam Merrill, 2 threes in the first half, a welcome sight. Love to see him getting his opportunity. And the other man off the bench, a career night one that is going to get him into the rotation on a regular basis. His name is Craig Porter Jr. He's from Wichita State. He is just the latest undrafted find by the Cavs front office. Delly helped you get a title. Lamar Stevens helped bring the rep back. Dean Wade has given you reputable minutes for years. These are guys you don't use with draft picks, but sign at the completion of the draft. Craig Porter, man, what a pickup. Looking at his night, 7 of 10 from the field, 7 of 7 at the line, 21 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 1 pick six, came up with a steal, raced right ahead for the dunk. He stopped a transition opportunity in doing so. That play told us all we need to know. He is a freak athlete. He is ready for the moment. And with Donovan out, we knew he was going to get minutes for a second game in a row. So to win 2 in a row with Donovan out, it does not matter who you're playing. Because we've seen and we've learned the hard way over the years that in the NBA, anything can happen on any given night. Nobody had the Cavs with a 24-point lead against Denver at any point. I don't even know if the Cavs fans, if you guys had that. I certainly didn't have that. But they came out and they finished quarters strong, something that has often not been the case in the last year or two. They did that. They got Jokic in foul trouble. And as soon as he came back in, he started the fourth quarter. It was a desperation move for Mike Malone. They kind of had to do that. They're playing Detroit tomorrow. So also first end of a back-to-back. You'll see what you get. If not, you'll pull them halfway through, which they did. Just kept going right at him. And Craig Porter's finishing ability certainly impressed me tonight. I really liked what he did, getting to the rim, finding his teammates. The chemistry was on. The Cavs as a team, 30 assists. Allen with 5, Mobley with 5, Strus with 5, Garland with 6, Porter with 4. It really was magnificent, truly. They didn't force a ton of turnovers, but what they did do is dominate in the second chance opportunities. They had to do that, really. And I was ready to come out and start talking smack about the Cavs on the glass when they let Zeke Naji get 2 putbacks in the second quarter. One was a dunk, one was a tip-in. But they owned the glass, really. Jokic's final line was 18, 10, and 7. He was minus 16. The Nuggets are certainly not the same team without Jamal Murray, but Reggie Jackson was minus 28. Michael Porter was minus 31. The entire Nuggets bench had a positive plus-minus. How's that for a weird stat? You lost by 12. You were down by as many as 26. Every single player off the bench had a positive plus minus. Every single starter had a negative plus minus. The only Cavs reserve with a positive plus minus at plus 11 was George Niang, but they were also playing together, and that really doesn't matter. The plus minus for the starters, all that matters. And this key stat from there, Jared Allen was plus 42. Just tweeted this out a minute ago. I had to look for myself. Jared Allen's plus 42 is the third highest plus minus in Cavs history. So we're going to give you the top 6. These are the only players to be plus 40. Surprisingly, Kyrie, Kevin, Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, LeBron, none of them on this list. Nobody from the Cavs' 68-point win is mentioned on this plus-minus list. I do believe if you go back in box scores that plus-minus was a stat in the 90s. I think it was, 1990 that the Cavs swept Miami. Here are the 6 best. November 15, 2014, Dion Waiters against the Hawks was plus 45. He had 9 points, 8 assists, 4 steals. January 29th of 2002, Bryant Stith, 14, 9, and 4 with 3 steals, was a plus 44. In the same game, we'll get to it in a moment, another player had a plus 40-something net rating. Third, Jared Allen. Tonight, plus 42, 15, 5, and 5. This February 20, 2015, Mozgov, 8, 4, 2, 2, 2. Plus 42 against the Wizards. Also on January 29th of 2002, joining Brian Stith was Brian Skinner. He was plus 42. He had 11 and 9 in just 23 minutes of action. And the only other guy to be plus 40, it happened early last season, Cedi Osman played 26 minutes against Chicago. And he finished with 15, 2, and 4. Fun fact about the Cavs to ever be plus 40, all 6 performances, they played fewer than 30 minutes. So there's your nugget for the day. Heck of a win. So let's talk about the starters and what they did and how they did it. Porter started to make some shots at a juncture of this game, 5 for 9 from 3, but it wasn't enough. Aaron Gordon was missing his free throws. Did have an unbelievable block on Allen. How'd the Cavs win? It was the big-to-big passing. Mobley and Allen combining for 10 assists. Jared Allen took over the early part of the third when Cleveland needed a jump start. Niang hit a couple of very timely shots. He only scored 11 points and only had 1 basket after the opening minutes, but Max Strus, 6 boards, 5 assists, was moving it around nicely. Dean Wade, a couple of timely threes, cleaned the defensive glass 9 times. Evan Mobley, 2 blocks, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He was in the lane. He was hitting the mid-range. He was defending brilliantly. Darius Garland was getting everything he wanted inside. He was hitting the jumper. He looked in control, and he's a very different player when Donovan Mitchell's not on the court. That's not a knock on Donovan. It's just we know Don needs the ball as well. He can be a catch-and-shoot guy at times. But Darius had the keys to the offense tonight, and he looked really, really good with the keys. He was driving a Maserati out there. A great car. A great performance. He was locked in. Okay, I love what we got from DG in this contest. All the way around, Jokic took 13 shots in 28 minutes. He had his assist, but they did not let him take over at any stretch. Denver's reserves, as mentioned, had some good performances. Strother, Brown, Zeke Naji, Holiday, Pickett all had their moments. But outside of Jokic, Porter had 21. No one else really was a threat at any point in this game. This is such a good wire-to-wire W. This is what the Cavs have been needing. They needed a game where they can, against a good team, where they can control things from the early portion. And it is gorgeous. That's 3 in a row. We look at the upcoming schedule, and it's going to be difficult. You got Philly and Miami back-to-back. They're in Philly on Tuesday for the in-season tournament. Then they host Miami. Then they got the Lakers and the Raptors to finish out the week. The hope will be that no one's too full after Thanksgiving. LeBron comes to town. You take care of business on Saturday. And when you play Toronto, Scotty versus Mobley, everyone's watching that matchup. Scotty Barnes, by the way, has been very good. If you haven't paid attention to the Raptors, they've been hit or miss. They dominated Detroit tonight. They're now 6-7. They've been up and down. They've had some injuries. But Scotty Barnes, I do have to tip my cap. Scotty Barnes, in his 3rd season, is averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, steal and a half, block and a half, hitting 48% of his shots and 39% of his threes. Scotty's points per game are +5. His rebounds are +2.5. His assists are +1. His blocks are doubling. His assists are mentioned are +1. His steals are +0.5. His field goal percentage is up. His three-point percentage and makes are up. His free throw percentage slightly down. His offensive rebounding is up. We'll see what Evan Mobley does because a lot of eyes will be on that matchup because of the Rookie of the Year battle. But the next time we see Cleveland mentioned, it's against the Sixers. They've been really, really good. Even without Kelly Oubre these last couple of games. Trading James Harden got them all the forward depth they could ever want. Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, KJ Martin all coming into the fold. All of them can play as needed. The biggest, and Robert Covington makes his return. Rocco and Batum have played the biggest roles for them. KJ Martin not really seeing the court much. Marcus Morris, as that one account on Twitter loves posting his highlights, but he's really fallen off. He can be a scorer. Look for Pat Bev, DeAnthony Melton. They got two defensively tough, small, gritty guards. Maxi's playing like an all-star. You got Embiid, who will be on the floor. Creates foul havoc. So may need Tristan and maybe even Damian Jones to log some minutes in that game. But hopefully Donovan's back. Caris is back. You get your full arsenal. You can make CPJ the backup point guard. Donovan at the point does obviously work for stretches, but if you can get Porter in, you got a playmaker for 48 minutes between him and Garland. I don't know about Okoro, what his status is. Would have loved to have had his defense for this game. But tonight, there's a party on the rooftop, top of the world, to quote the old song. I'm forgetting the artist right now, and I apologize because that song is pretty new. But that's how you win a basketball game. 48 minutes they played. Finish, and yeah, Denver got hot at the end, but you still win by double digits. You score 121 points on the defending champs. They're a different team without Jamal Murray, and they had just lost by 3 recently to New Orleans. But the Nuggets are the Nuggets. And the beauty of this win, posted this earlier, 5 years in a row, the Cavs-Nuggets season series has been a season sweep. Cavs went loss, win-win, loss, win-win, loss. And year 6 of it, first game, win. It's a win. That means that they're tracking to beat the Nuggets again when they play next. When is that game? For all you look-aheaders. Not until March 31st at 3:30 in Denver. Mile High versus Nikola Jokic, who they really kept in check, all things considered. But that's it. Keeping it short. That is how you play the game. Austin Carr was having a great time, I'm sure, in the studio. Brad and John called a glorious game. And shout out Serena Winters, as always. It's one of the best crews in the league. Love listening to them every night. And we're seeing them in person real soon. Cavs beat the Nuggets. They've got 3 wins in a row. The best still is yet to come. Plenty more across the Cavs in the coming days, weeks, and months. Zach West with you, as always, on Network 216.